Hey guys, Pitch here. I hope you're all doing well. Whilst I was streaming yesterday, somebody reminded me that I did tease a POB in my previous video. Now, I hadn't forgotten. I've been playing this build now for 3 days. This is the exact build we're going to go through. If you do want to check out some footage, I'm going to link the video up at the top right now. That's live stream, unedited, and you can see we just completely bully the game. No effort at all. You'll also notice we've pushed past 6,000 energy shield and currently running 9 million damage per golem, Sirus DPS. If you have been fortunate enough to craft the ones that I went through in this video, linked at the top, then you'll be pushing 12 million DPS with over 6k energy shield. So it's in a really good place. The build feels fantastic, and I think this would probably be the version I would recommend as a base starter for this build. Not only does it offer more damage and more energy shield than the previous version, but also far more flexibility for you to play around with. So if you do want to maybe get a little bit more energy shield and drop some DPS, easy to do now. If you want more damage and less energy shield, piece of cake, no problem. You'll see more as we get into the tree. If you are liking my POE content, then please hit the like button, click subscribe, and I've got something really special lined up. So watch this space. Let's jump into the build. Looking at the gear, there's only been a couple of changes, but for people that are new to the series, I'm going to go through all of it. We're running 2 Cold Iron Points, an Alpha's Howl with Pride 15% enchant, 6-link Sacklewell's Nest with 10% reduced mana reserved, 2 unset rings, Crusader unset rings. I crafted these myself. T1 energy shield, T1 increased energy shield. This one's got aspects of the avian on it, and this one I crafted strength. But you could craft on there whatever you like. The intelligence was just a nice bonus, because that converts to not only mana but also additional energy shield. Simplex Amulet with Champion of the Cause Anointed. This has got 7% reduced mana reserved with energy shield and clarity. These gloves, you'll notice, no longer using the breast stealers. I'll talk about that more once we get to the tree. So just T1 energy shield, and I crafted minion damage on there. These aren't best in slot. You can actually get some redeemer ones which will give you up to 30% increased damage, but I haven't got my hands on those yet. Still using Doriani's Delusion. This grants us Purity of Lightning skill and energy shield. Make sure you pick up the energy shield base. Darkness Enthroned, pick this up for about 1 chaos. This is an amazing belt. Moving on to the flasks, we've got Rumi's Concoction, a Jade Flask with Remove Curse, Basalt Flask with Remove Bleeding, Quartz Flask for the dodge, and a Quicksilver Flask. Now we'll go through the skill links. In the helmet, I've got 2123 Grace, Val Grace, 2123 Val Haste, 2123 Discipline, and Determination. In the Cold Iron Points, Divergent Dread Banner, Awakened Generosity, Divergent Precision. In the other one, Anomalous Purity of Fire, Vitality, and Pride. 6-link Sacklewells, 21 Summon Carrion Golem, linked to Awaken Brutality, Damage on Full Life, Multi-Strike, Awaken Minion Damage, and Awaken Melee Physical Damage Support. In the gloves, we've got Flesh and Stone, linked to Maim, with Flame Dash and Convocation. In the boots, Ray Zombie, Animate Guardian, Ray Spectre, and Meat Shield. In the unset rings, I have Anomalous Purity of Ice, and at the moment I'm running Val Molten Shell. You could put whatever you like in here. I was running this really just to test it. This is basically a free slot for you. This is actually quite effective. We want to keep our flasks up as much as possible, and whilst the flasks are up, Molten Shell actually mitigates 4,600 damage, which is quite a chunk of damage, and that's on top of 6,000 ES. And this is up, I think, 66% of the time. I find this really useful with this flash setup. In the Darkness Enthroned, I got 2 really, really, really good Abyss Jewels, so make sure you get 2 1% mana reserved, and any of these stats will see you good. Okay, let's move on to the tree. So here is the tree, and what is glaringly obvious is that this is a 2 cluster setup. The previous build that I put out was hitting 7 million DPS per golem and 4.9k ES. As you can see, we've pushed over 6k here and 9 million per golem, so increase there in both areas, and very little investment to shift. In fact, you may even make some money by selling these clusters if you decide to do so. So what did we change? Obviously removed the cluster, stripped all this back, and that gave us so many passive points to be able to manipulate the tree. Because removing the cluster also removed 2 dual sockets, it was important to replace those for the 1% mana reservation. So I specced down here and picked up Righteous Army on the way for decent DPS, and picked up this dual socket here. The other dual socket that I picked up was this one, and this was a no-brainer because there's 2 reasons for pathing this way up here. The first reason is that we're not using the Hungry Loop anymore. We replaced that with a massive ES unset ring. Now, the Hungry Loop, if you remember, that was providing us with the 10th non-golem minion. If we look at the Carrion Golem gem itself, you deal 5% more damage per non-golem minion, up to 50%. So we always want to have at least 10 non-golem minions. Now, with 6 zombies, 2 spectres, and an animate guardian, that gives us 9. So having Summon Phantasm in the Hungry Loop was providing us with 10 most of the time, almost all of the time. Now that we've taken away the Hungry Loop, I spec'd up to Lord of the Dead, and that gives us an extra zombie, and that's there all the time, so now we always have 10. The second reason is that I've dropped the Breath Stealers as well, so we somehow needed to get Golem Commander. So because I'd already spec'd to here, and I needed a dual socket, and I needed to get to Golem Commander, this path was a no-brainer. Because we also lost some quite a bit of aura effect over here by removing this cluster, it's important now to take both Rotten Claws in the large clusters, and that's so that our Impale scales up to 100%. It's actually 99, I think, but that's absolutely fine. The rest of the points you're pretty much free to use however you like. I chose to take Fearsome Force here, and I also chose to take these nodes here, Aligned Spirits. Not only does this give you a huge chunk of mana, but also a lot of minion damage. And finally, I took this wheel here, or 4 of the 5. The reason is, these are actually boosted by Might of the Meek. So, although in POB it says this is 6% increased energy shield, it's not, it's 9% per. So I think that's really valuable, but as I mentioned earlier, you're free to do what you like with the rest of the points. If you want more damage, then just remove those and maybe spec into Redemption, or whatever you see fit, but it's that simple to make adjustments now. You've got lots of freedom. I think I've covered everything. I'll go through the jewels now. So Conqueror's Efficiency 1%, Primordial Harmony 1%, Eminence 1%, Eminence 1%, Fortress Covenant 1%. Still using the Watcher's Eye. I use Harvest to get the implicit on there. So that gives us permanent phasing and also a chunk of energy shield. Anima Stone Still waiting to get a decent enchant on that, or implicit on that. And finally, a Primordial Might. The large clusters, Renewal, Rotten Claws, Vicious Bite, 2 of those. And the medium clusters, these are about the best ones that you can get. Replenishing Presence, First Among Equals, with 5 intelligence and 3 attributes. You could get the level 84 version of these and actually get, I think, 8 intelligence and 4 attributes. That would be better, but outside of that version, this is probably the best jewel that you can roll. So 1, 2, 3 of those, and then 1 uncompromising Replenishing Presence with intelligence. That would be better with attributes, but I didn't manage to roll it. And that's the build. The POB will be in the Discord along with all the others from previous videos. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.